make a narrative as if like I'm scared of. I think Devin's a tremendous fighter. Do I think Devin Haney can beat me? Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah.
For me personally, I'm on a different level than everybody.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to boxing, because Devin, he's a boxer.
It's on him. You know what I mean? It's on him. He knows that he's going to get this fade sooner or later. So it's only a matter of time. Obviously, we can't go down. You know, we can't go down to 135. So, you know, he would have to come up. And, you know, he can get this work anytime. He ready.
I see greatness, man. I see greatness. Shakur practically beat you with one hand, man. That jab, man. Most important hand you have, man. You know? And he looked good doing it, sharp. You know what I mean? Distance. He did everything, man.
Shakur Stevenson is reportedly scheduled to face Devin Haney at 140. He accepts rehydration conditions and stays adamant that his abilities outperform all competitors.
These guys, if y'all want me to come to 147, I'm coming in with rehydration clauses. I don't even do that. Yeah. But why am I going up to these guys' weight classes if I'm not planning on?
Devin Haney insists that the battle with Shakur Stevenson will take place, demonstrating desire and dedication, indicating that he genuinely wants this fight.
Still at 135. You can't, you know, say your name without saying Shakur to your female tank, right? It just is what it is. Is that fight going to ever happen? Would it ever happen against you and Shakur?
100%, yeah. I think so. I think it.
You think Shakur will grow into whatever weight you're in?
I mean, we're all of us is close to the same size. You know, we're all growing together. We're all like, you know, getting bigger. Well, so, and it's only so many guys, like y'all said. It's only so many guys that we could make big money and people want to see the fights. Which, even though I know that they making new guys, it's guys like Kermel, Abdullah, all these guys want to come up too. So eventually they gonna be there too. But yeah, no, I think that a fight with Shakur is very much possible. We try to make.
Shakur Stevenson claims he is not afraid of Devin Haney, but Devin's crew may wrongly accuse Shakur of deliberately avoiding the battle.
Haney.
Okay.
Devin Haney's probably, to me, I don't think it's hit its point yet, but I think in the next year or two, it'll hit a point where it's like the world is gonna demand, you know what I'm saying? I can see the trajectory feels like it could meet like that.
I would love this fight. But look, you gotta watch what you say with like, and this is not even Devin fault, because Devin is very respectful of my game and I'm respectful of his game. He's a good fighter. But his fans will clip and twist and turn things into something that is not. So I try to be real careful on what I say.
True. This is guy Jay on Twitter. He a big Haney fan. He be always clipping and changing stuff, Jay.
Yeah, they gonna make a narrative as if like I'm scared of. I think Devin's a tremendous fighter. Do I think Devin Haney can beat me? Hell no.
Shakur Stevenson believes he is on a different level, with no fighter capable of defeating him, whereas Devin cannot knock him out.
He's a fucking stone cold killer who's just gonna go in there and try to knock me the fuck out.
Yeah.
He's gonna try to outbox me. I'm the greatest boxer. How do you... So that's how I feel about the fight.
Yeah.
But it all gotta make sense from a business standpoint. I don't like getting up here and negotiating against myself. And,
for sure.
But for me, I'm willing
to make the fight. But do you see it as it being that could, you know, like we always said, the Four Kings, even though you wasn't a part of it, the whole plot is like at the end of the road, there's gonna be two guys left standing, and that's the big fight. Do you see that as that's potentially what that could be?
I'm a bad motherfucker.
Devin Haney is determined to show himself, aiming to face top opponents such as Shakur Stevenson to establish his genuine greatness.
Fights are not possible. Would you be more inclined just to move up to 140?
Yeah, you know, if I can't get those fights next or it doesn't make sense for it to be next, I'll probably go to 140, test it out, see how I feel at the weight at 140, and then if when the time is right, then, I'll defend my belt at 135. We'll just see, though. I got to go back and talk with the team and see what makes the most sense. That's
Bill Haney says they will not come down and wait. So anyone looking for a battle must move up to 140. He says that the match can take place whenever the challenger is ready. Tim Bradley feels Shakur Stevenson has the ability to outperform even Terence Crawford in boxing history. Crawford is unquestionably on the sport's Mount Rushmore, a 5-weight division champion whose accomplishments are impressive. However, Bradley believes Shakur, like Crawford, has the talent and skill to go even higher. He clarifies that this isn't about duplicating Crawford's several undisputed belts or going up weight classes, but about the opportunity that Crawford didn't have owing to boxing politics at the time. Bradley points out that if figures like Turki Alaşık had been around during Crawford's rise, bridging promoter gaps, big fights against opponents like Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, and Yildiz Ugas could have taken place sooner, boosting Crawford's prominence even more.
But I feel like Shakur, just like Crawford was with me, Shakur has the ability to pass Terence Crawford. Listen up. Now, not in the stance of becoming 3-time undisputed and, going up to, that many weight classes. Not from that standpoint. He already has 4 weight classes. Crawford is a 5-weight division champion. But in the sense of having the opportunities that Crawford didn't have. Crawford would have been even bigger than what he is if the politics didn't play into the sport at the time. And now that, you have guys like Turki Alaşık that are able to bridge that gap between promoters and, make these big fights.
With that in mind, Shakur is entering a period in which exceptional fighters weighing 130 to 135 pounds are more accessible, allowing him the opportunity to face top-tier opponents on a consistent basis. Shakur's prospective opponents include Devin Haney, Lamont Roach, O'Shaquie Foster, Gary Russell Jr., Dalton Smith, Brian Garcia, and others. Bradley argues that Shakur not only possesses the talent to compete with these fighters, but also the opportunity to defeat them, cementing his legacy and potentially surpassing Crawford in influence and accomplishments.
He was around when Crawford was on his climb. When Crawford couldn't get those big fights with like Thurman and Danny Garcia and Ugas and, he got it later with Sean Porter, but it was later. But imagine if Crawford was able to have that run and, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, Ugas, Keith Thurman, the list goes on. If he would have had all those guys on his ledger, imagine how big Crawford would be. He would be even bigger than what he is today. Bigger than what he is today. So with that being said, with these fighters hovering around 135, these talented fighters, hovering around 135, 130. Guys like, Oshaki Foster, like I mentioned, going to go up to 135. He's big enough to.
There's a significant stumbling block in the way, but as you see these two warriors compete, it's evident that, barring trickery, they're unlikely to lose. With that said, Devin Haney responds to Shakur right away, and Shakur responds back. This back and forth exemplifies the interaction between elite fighters. Initially, there was discourse of the Four Kings too. Zero stars Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, and Gervonta Davis, and pays homage to the famous eras of Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Roberto Duran.
You're going to concede to that? I doubt it. So there's a major obstacle in the way. But nonetheless, as you watch these two fighters fight, you can clearly see, outside of cheating, they're more than likely not going to lose, right? With that said, Devin Haney immediately responds to Shakur. Shakur responds to Devin, right? Again, we had the initial Four Kings. It was Devin, Ryan, T.O., and Tank Davis, right? It was supposed to be the Four Kings 2.0, from the Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto.
Interestingly, Wilfred Benitez, who was frequently neglected in talks of the era, defeated Roberto Duran, who had fought several of the original Four Kings. Duran only defeated Sugar Ray Leonard once, was brutally knocked out by Hearns, outclassed by Hagler, and outperformed by Benitez. Despite his exploits, Bonitz is overshadowed. Similarly, fighters such as Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis, and Teofimo Lopez have frequently overshadowed Shakur Stevenson. However, Stevenson has began to shine, especially after crushing Teofimo Lopez. At the same time, Tank Davis's legal difficulties and reluctance to fight reflect the obstacles and opportunities that are transforming the modern boxing scene.
But nobody mentions Wilfred Benitez. And the fact remains is Wilfred Benitez beat Roberto Duran as well. And Roberto Duran is 1-4 against those guys. He beat Sugar Ray Leonard the first time. Outside of that, Roberto Duran, he lost to he quit against Sugar Ray Leonard. He got knocked out brutally by Tommy Hearns. He got outboxed by Marvin Hagler and outclassed by Wilfred Benitez. Right? But he's overshadowing Wilfred Benitez. And I felt like these guys, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Tank, and T.O., overshadowed Shakur Stevenson. And now Shakur Stevenson has shined the light by dominating Teofimo.
Bernie Thawboxer reacts to the Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney fight by praising both fighters' history and accomplishments. Shakur is now a 4-weight world champion, 2-time lineal champion, and Ring Magazine title holder. He also became a 2-time unified champion at 130 pounds, defeating highly competent opponents such as Teofimo Lopez, who is always up to the challenge.
Conor Ben comes into the ring, they talk, have some words, but Shakur Stevenson said, I want to put that same rehydration clause you put on Chris Eubank. Tell me, what did you get out of that moment in the ring?
Well, I heard on the press conference where I think it was his manager said that, that was a clown move, but I think Shakur invited that, I don't even know if I would have said all that about Conor being right then, but I think he really wants that fight. He really wants the money for the fight. He been saying that. And now he came through victorious. I think he really wants that money for that fight.
Devin Haney, meanwhile, is a 3-weight world champion who was once undisputed. Bernie underlines that if Shakur wishes to confront Devin directly, he must do it without hesitation. Fighting Devin in his peak would eliminate all excuses and ensure Shakur received full credit for a historic achievement. According to Bernie, both fighters are great, but defeating Devin in his prime would solidify Shakur Stevenson's legacy as one of his generation's best fighters, demonstrating his skill, drive, and championship caliber abilities.
Accomplishments, because now Shakur is a 4-weight world champion. Devin is a 3-weight world champion. Devin was undisputed, but now Shakur is a 2-time lineal champion, so he's a 2-time Ring Magazine winner, 2-time unified champion. If you want to add the ring as far as with the WBO, he was unified at 130, so he's a 2-time unified champion, 2-time lineal champion, beat a guy like Teofimo Lopez, who rises to the occasion, had a close fight with George Kambosos. You can make a claim that he was fighting out of frustration or out of emotion, and that was it. He was in his prime too, Josh Taylor seemed to be drained at 140. Not taking away from Devin, but he was already moving up to 47, they were saying. Lomachenko was a little older.
Shakur Stevenson just gave a strong performance against Teofimo Lopez, and Busiai Enes emphasizes how impressive that was, especially given Shakur fought primarily with one hand. His jab, the most essential strike in boxing, was sharp and precise with perfect distance management. Every move he made was deliberate and successful, displaying technical skill that made Lopez appear amateurish despite his experience and athleticism. Many skeptics question Shakur's resume, claiming he had not faced elite opposition, but against Lopez, he proved them all wrong. Shakur handled everything flawlessly. Lopez struggled just because he faced Shakur Stevenson.
I see greatness, man. I see greatness. Shakur practically beat him with one hand, man. That jab, man. Most important hand you have, man. And he looked good doing it, sharp. You know what I mean? Distance. He did everything, man. He did everything right, man.
A lot of people thought it would be a tough fight because Teo's athletic, Teo's experienced, he's fought on a high level. Mm-hmm. And, they were critical of Shakur. He ain't fought nobody and this and that.
Yeah.
He made Teo look like everybody else.
Made him look like an amateur. Made him look like an amateur. Yes.
Now, technically, what did you see? Right? Where did Teo go wrong in that fight?
Where he went wrong?
Yeah.
Fighting Shakur. That's where he went wrong. Fighting Shakur. I knew he just running his mouth. He just was talking, man. I knew that from the beginning. Even
Despite having his left hand slightly hurt, Shakur maintained his domination throughout the fight, throwing the jab mercilessly and only infrequently used his left hand due to the ailment. Buzzy emphasizes that Shakur might have called a stoppage if required. Despite his pain, he handled the bout well. The performance demonstrated not only his ability, but also his intelligence and poise in the ring. Fans in Philadelphia and abroad witnessed a masterclass as Shakur established himself as one of boxing's best talents. Even though he was hurt, he controlled the fight, demonstrating that excellence does not require flawless conditions. It requires expertise, heart, and constant focus.
Shakur, no, you could have got stoppage too, but Shakur hurt his left hand. Yeah. His left hand was hurt. If you notice, he was using that jab a lot.
Yeah, jab and then the hook.
And he threw the left hand every now and then. Because I was screaming out. Everybody said they heard me in Philly.
Yo, we can hear you on the TV.
Yeah, that's my young buck. You know what I mean? And I was telling him, throw that straight left hand. Then I noticed when he did throw it, he wasn't throwing it real hard. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But he looked spectacular, man. You know what I mean? You can't ask for nothing more, man. And with me, I don't care about what people say, man. They always want to talk about you and say, oh, he should have did this, should have did that. He did everything that he was supposed to do.
The fight between Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney is highly anticipated. Both fighters have outstanding technique, quickness, and drive, making each moment in the ring surprising and dramatic. Fans are studying their styles and previous performances to decide who will win. Every punch, every movement is important, and the stakes could not be higher. Shakur's technical mastery clashes with Devin's mobility and strength, promising fireworks. The atmosphere surrounding this battle is tremendous, and it has the potential to define both fighters' careers, resulting in one of the most memorable fights in modern boxing history.
That even remotely sparks my interest for Shakur Stevenson is this guy right here, Devin Haney. Look at them, they're the same size. Obviously, Devin's moved up to 147. Shakur demands a catch weight. We'll see if Devin goes for the bait, because I think Shakur Stevenson, there's no doubt about it, he has the skills to compete at 147 to be 5 weight division champion.
That's all for today's video, so keep tuned. Until the next.